Barcelona's out of possession structure is repeatedly letting them down. They have conceded the highest number of big chances in LaLiga's first 3 games. In this video, we'll break down how their high defensive line, lack of gegenpressing or counterpressing, improper pressing shape, and failed offside traps are combining to make them vulnerable. At the end, I'll show you a solution that Flick might implement. One of the biggest recurring issues is the height of Barcelona's fullbacks. They want their fullbacks to join the attack, but whenever Barcelona lost the ball high up, the fullbacks were already advanced. Levante and Rayo repeatedly targeted this, first switching play into the wide zone and then exploiting the gap behind him. Playing with advanced fullbacks isn't automatically a problem. Lots of teams do it all the time. But they also keep in mind that the space left by the fullback isn't exploited. Generally, most teams have a proper rest defense that covers every zone of the field. And this is where Barcelona's biggest problem arises. Their rest defense looks like the team is set up for counter pressing or gegenpressing. Successful gegenpressing relies on the immediate collective reaction after losing the ball. 3-4 players swarming at once to suffocate the ball carrier and cutting out passing lanes. The idea is to push the opponents backwards and make them play back or square passes. The central zone should be blocked and the opponent must not be able to switch the ball to the other side of the field where there is space. To successfully implement this, the pressing team must play closer to each other so that they can cover less ground to press. They must press immediately once the ball is lost. It should be second nature. And they must press as a unit. One weakness in the press and they will be punished. In the first 3 games, Barcelona looked like they were strictly positional, so they had to cover a lot of ground to close down spaces. But more importantly, their press was too slow, not coordinated, and often done by just one player, while others didn't even cut the passing lanes. The numbers confirm this. Tackles in the final third have dropped by nearly 140% compared to last season, showing that Barca aren't regaining the ball high anymore. Against Rayo, Barcelona had virtually 0% defensive contribution in the attacking third. Their PPDA is still the same as last season, 7.2. But I'll tell you in a bit why, despite the same PPDA, Barcelona are conceding more high quality chances. And as I said before, if a team's counter press isn't good enough and they play a high line, opponents will counter attack. To fix this, Barcelona tried to implement an offside trap. This worked well last season, but in this season, opponents have figured out how to beat the trap. Barcelona rarely pressured the ball quickly enough, and the opponents, instead of playing a direct ball for a runner behind the defense who might be caught offside, play the ball to the wide areas where they often find their fullback or winger or both in space, as Barcelona keep their fullbacks high and their wingers Rashford, Yamal or Rafinha either don't track back or do it half-hearted, leaving either their fullbacks in 2v1 situation or dragging out Pedri or De Jong. The data shows the result. Long passes completed against Barcelona have risen by almost 146% this season. Opponents are easily switching the ball to the other side of the field where there is space. And when those long balls connect, they often lead directly to chances. Key passes conceded per 90 are up by a third compared to last season. Barcelona's pressing of opposition build-up also looks structured on paper but collapses if there is some clever build-up. Against Rayo, Ferran pressed the goalkeeper, the wingers pressed the centre-backs and midfielders cut passing lanes. The goal was to trap Rayo on one side, but the flaw is built in. Barcelona deliberately leave the opposition fullbacks free. If the ball goes from CB to FB, the Barca fullback can jump and the whole defense shifts accordingly. But if the goalkeeper plays directly to the fullback, the jump and the shifting of the defense doesn't happen in time, leaving gaps in the back line or leaving the fullback free to play through balls. Rayo's passing zones show strings of successful passes down the flanks, exploiting the space Balde and Koundé left. Against Levante, the passing map is even clearer. Most of their attacks flowed to their fullbacks, who were free because Barca's structure doesn't account for them. If you see the pass network of this season versus last season, you will notice last season oppositions against Barca played a lot more backward and square passes, while this season they are going a lot more direct. This is why, despite having similar PPDA numbers, Barcelona is failing to stop dangerous chances, as their pressing intensity isn't good or coordinated, and oppositions are playing fewer but more dangerous passes to move quickly. And if you want to see more data visualizations like these, follow me on Twitter and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So, what is the solution to this? I think Barcelona should do a 4-2-3-1 press where the number 9 and number 10 press the CBs based on whether the CB can evade the press or not, and the wingers press the opposition fullbacks. That way, it's easy to lock the opponent on one side of the field. Other than this, Barcelona should increase the counter pressing intensity and also maybe remove the offside trap altogether. If they are struggling to counter press always, maybe they should do it in turns based on the flow of the game. They should press when they can and they should fall back in a settled shape where the opposition cannot break their defense. Barcelona's attacking approach is ambitious, but unless they fix these out of possession flaws, their high line will remain a liability. Elite pressing teams succeed not because they run more, but because they press smarter, compact, collective, and with insurance behind them. Barcelona are pressing often, but pressing badly, and the data, the passing maps, and the matches all prove it.